episode of Easy Talk is sponsored by Spotlight Productions. When it comes to quality, Spotlight Productions strives to deliver excellence. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to have you guys here today. This is going to be a phenomenal episode of Easy Talk, real talk for true entrepreneurs. We are going to deep dive into the passions and the interests of our young people in our community, our high school students, our college students. We want to make sure that we are supporting their business, their visions, their dreams. And so today we have Miss Camila Lopez on the show. She is going to talk about her journey into entrepreneurship, her passion, and what drives her. So if you've got a young person that you're wanting to be your successor in your business, or you're a young person yourself and you're ready to start out on your journey, this is the show for you. Again, welcome to Easy Talk, real talk for true entrepreneurs with Miss Camila Lopez.
Hello, my name is Camila. I'm 18 years old and I'm just starting my cleaning business that's inspired by my mother.
Yes, awesome. So Camila is a college student at Christian Brothers University, go Buccaneers, my alma mater. And she graduated from Cordova High School. She's a freshman and she is ready to start her business from the ground up, inspired by her mother and her mother's cleaning business. So she is taking the reins, taking the charge, and putting her own brand out there to start her very own business. So Camila, tell us a fun fact about you.
I want to pursue law. I want to be a lawyer. So besides this cleaning, I want to be a lawyer, specifically an immigration lawyer in the future.
Awesome. So when did you start? Were you just kind of helping your mom out and decided, hey, this is something I can do, and just wanted to get out there? Where did your passion and drive come from to start a business?
Yes, so my mother's first language isn't actually English, it's Spanish.
Okay.
So I started first translating for my mother. And so sometimes she would take me to work and I would work with her for days. She would pay me sometimes during the summer. I saved up $1,000. And that's when I realized that, I could actually do cleaning. And obviously my parents wanted me to go to college. But besides just being a lawyer, I wanted to do something on the side. I wanted to help my mother's business grow. I didn't want her just being a cleaning lady forever. I wanted to have a company and sometime in the future be able to just rely on her workers.
That is awesome. So for those of us that are in maybe the African American community or the Latino community, what are some challenges that you face as an entrepreneur being Latino?
Some challenges definitely is the language barrier. Specifically for my mother, I didn't really face any challenges there, but I did see my mother always having the trouble translating things or sometimes even communicating with people, Sometimes there would be mishaps in the prices where they would say, oh no, I thought you said this much, or things like that.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a problem there. Another thing is sometimes people can see you as lower and they might not take you seriously. So that's an issue that we definitely faced a lot back then.
Yeah, and I can imagine being a young entrepreneur, that people may not take you as seriously. And so building your brand and having the right perception in the community as a business owner is going to be important for you. Because, I think there's a stigma around young people. They don't stick to things long. They're not consistent. They're not timely. So those are some important factors for your brand to say, I'm reliable, I'm dependable. And you're also getting your bachelor's degree at Christian Brothers in mass communications. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think a lot of people think that young people are immature. And that's definitely something that is not true for most of us. Especially when I'm trying to translate for my mother, I'm trying to say, I think it will be this much. They'll be like, no, I want to speak specifically to your mother, because they think I'm trying to betray my mother and pay overpriced and keep the rest. But it's definitely nothing like that. I feel like I've definitely matured a little bit faster with the things that I've experienced. So that's definitely a misconception as well.
Awesome. So in your time management, it's got to be important, because you're running a business as an entrepreneur as well as going to college, and you have a little brother as well, right?
Yes.
So how do you still maintain high quality in the service that you provide?
Yeah, it's definitely all inside. It's definitely having the effort to want to do it, because if you want to do something but you don't put your 100% effort, it will never get done correctly. So I think definitely you should always put 100% effort into everything, and that's how everything will get done on its own.
That is great. That is a great point. You definitely have to put your all in it, because when you don't, people can tell. The quality declines. And you may get away with it for a little bit, but eventually over time, people will start to see that it's not the high quality of service that they asked for.
Yeah, and that's definitely how you stop recurring clients calling you back or even recommendations from going over to other people.
So in starting your business, you started from scratch. So your mom has a business, but you wanted to start your very own. So you had to name it, create a logo. Tell us about that journey.
Yes, so I've always wanted to expand my mother's business. So I definitely always have a word with her in everything I say, because this is her dream that I'm using as my own to make something even bigger. So I always talk to her and be like, what do you want to do? Sometimes I have troubles being creative, and that's something that I kind of like be hard on myself for, because when I came to choosing a name or even doing a logo design, I didn't know what to do. But I obviously considered talking to my parents, because some things you might not know, but for them it might come really easy. So definitely talking with others and getting their ideas, not being closed-minded to the ideas that they might give you. I think that definitely helps.
Awesome. And I could imagine having the community at Christian Brothers University really helps you too, as far as being an entrepreneur, learning and understanding the quality of customer service, your brand. How do those things tie into your studies?
Yes, definitely at school, they teach us a lot about connections, networking specifically. At first, before entering CBU, I decided just going to go to good school, get my good grades, get out, my degree, and that's it. But what they make really important at CBU, they always talk about networking and how that's important to communicate with people, to learn who these people are, learn their experiences, what they have to offer to you and what you can offer to them. So networking is definitely something that I learned at CBU that is obviously going to help me in the business.
Yeah, that is great. Do you have any classes at Christian Brothers that teach you about being an entrepreneur as far as financing or branding or anything like that that you can lean on and depend on to help you kind of guide how you want your business to grow?
There's definitely classes offered at CBU. Right now, since I'm a freshman, I'm taking my general courses. So I haven't really took a class as financing, businessing, that I would say have helped me with this. But currently, I am taking a speech and communications class. It's a class where you learn about how to publicly speak with people and how to speak, how to effortlessly speak, so like people are getting your point across and they're understanding what you're trying to say.
Yes, effective communications.
Yes, I think that's definitely important, because sometimes it's hard networking because you're shy or you're nervous that people aren't going to like understand you, or they're going to think, oh, well, you're barely starting. So I think public speaking is something we should all be learning.
Yes, that is true, because there are entrepreneurs today that are much older than you that need help with, especially their elevator pitch. Yes. Knowing how to share what you do with someone and why it's important to them, that's your elevator pitch. That is that thing that sells you, that you can easily have a conversation with someone when you're networking to be able to share with them what you do and why it's important. Yes. Having an elevator pitch is one of the most important things you need when you're starting out with your brand. And the more you do it, the more you practice that thing, it will be phenomenal for you to be easily able to share. And you'll be surprised at yourself, like, wow, did I just say that? Because it makes it easier for you to share with people what you do, and they can see the value in what you do. Yes. So practicing an elevator pitch is very important.
Yeah, I definitely think that sometimes as someone who is not that experienced in public speaking, we can kind of be closed off a little bit, like we might not want to overshare a lot, or sometimes it's even hard to even crack a joke. So I think that's something I can learn more about as well.
Yeah. And I think you're on the right track. You're doing very well with your business, and starting out so early. There's so much that you're going to learn, that you're going to need. And there are so many classes and opportunities out there that you can take outside of Christian Brothers.
Yes.
I would definitely say joining some type of entrepreneur networking group would really help you. There may be a group where people that are on Facebook or maybe Instagram or even on LinkedIn, that's a cleaning society, or a society where there are small business owners, or a society for young business owners. I definitely would suggest you reach out and see how you can network with other organizations and have opportunities to spread your brand and what you're doing, as well as learn from them.
Yeah, I think it's something I should definitely take advantage of, is that I have social media.
Yes.
I have this thing where I can just search up, or like, how can I do this? How can I learn this? Get into contact with somebody who knows more than I do. So I will definitely be taking advantage of all those things that I have.
What are some lessons that you've learned already? Some things that you wish you may have known before you started your business that you had to learn as you went along?
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
Definitely not easy.
It's not easy or fast. So sometimes you think you did something and you're waiting for it, but it's not coming as fast as you want it. So then you get stuck and be like, do I really want to do it anymore? But definitely you just have to be patient and just have the effort still to do it. So I feel like if you're not, like, if you want something and you want it to come fast and easy, then you probably won't get it, because you won't have the patience to do it. You just have to be patient and, be ready to work for it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, because consistency. You're saying wanting it fast and it come quick, and easy. Those things leave you even faster.
Yeah, it definitely takes time.
You definitely want to build a strong foundation in what you do. So how many customers do you have so far?
Well, so far with my mom, we want to like get new customers into the company. Mm-hmm. So my mom has her customers that she has right now that she's been doing since she's been cleaning houses for years. Mm-hmm. Right now, specifically with the company, we want to get more actual business owners.
Okay, so you want to go into the commercial side of things. So right now you're doing residential.
Right now we're doing residential, but we definitely want to do more commercial.
Yes. I could see those commercial contracts being more beneficial financially for you.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think those will help us branch out more.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then also one of the things, a piece of advice that I would like to give you is making sure that you have a plan for how you want to create a culture in your business for your employees, and thinking about what does an employee look like? Who would represent your brand? Because in your business specifically, every employee is going to be customer facing, because they're going to be going out when you're not there, and even with you, to the houses or to the buildings that you guys are going to be doing commercial cleaning for. And how they represent your brand is going to be critical. So I would strongly suggest that you take some time and look at what kind of people do I want to hire. It could be, for you, it could be someone that's bilingual. For you, it could be someone that is young enough and energetic enough to be able to run and flow with how fast your business is going to grow. You know, how flexible are they? How do they treat people? You know, how do they have conversations with you? How do they communicate? And so looking at some different job descriptions for other cleaning companies. So for example, if you're thinking about, let's say you wanted to work for a cleaning company, you were looking for a job doing some cleaning, and you started looking up jobs, looking at those job descriptions, seeing what it is that they look for, what's important to them, could give you some insight, even with your mom's business, the type of people that you want to hire. Having those thoughts and that process in place before you hire is going to be important, because even though you're starting out small, you want your business to grow. I mean, you want to be successful. So don't take too much time before you start thinking about, what does my hiring process look like? Even starting back to recruiting, where will I recruit from?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something important, because once we reach the level that I want to reach, people will be representing my name.
Yes.
Exactly. So they will be representing what I stand for. So I think that's very important, because I don't want to stand for something that's
right.
not good.
You don't want your employees to be acting out in a way that you wouldn't, and you say, wait, no, that doesn't represent my brand.
Yeah, no, that's
and
not
now
me.
You've got to release them of their duties and start all over again to find someone else.
Yes.
So taking your time and doing your due diligence of how you recruit, how you hire, how you onboard them, how you train them, and then how you measure their success and reward them. You know, it may not be so much as, oh, okay, that's clean, good job. It could be the time that they cleaned it. It could be that they show up on time. How well do they manage their time? Are they enthused? Do you have to tell them over and over again to do things? Those are some of the things that you want to think about and look at in how you measure their performance and how you reward them. We always want to make sure that we reward our employees. And that comes from you building a relationship with them. Because some employees, they may want a bonus. Some employees, you can say, great job. Some employees, you can get them flowers, you know, take them out to lunch. It depends. I definitely would say, as you begin to scale and grow, get to know each employee personally. Don't look at them as a dollar sign. Look at them as a human being, someone that you want to be a relationship with, someone that you may be able to help them to branch off and start their own business. Don't be afraid of someone becoming your competition, because that's legacy building for you to be able to have 3, 4, 5 employees and 2 of them branch out and start their own cleaning business. That's you making a difference in a whole different way.
Yeah, I think that's definitely important in the cleaning community. I feel like the cleaning community is very competitive. You know, sometimes when you start from the very bottom, you want to ask, oh, well, how much should I charge for this? How much should I charge for that? What cleaning things do you use? And people are very competitive. They're really like, I don't want to let you know my secrets. And so definitely I want to create a good relationship with people, because I want to be the person that I would have wanted when I started.
Exactly. And I think you've got a really great start, and you have a strong foundation being able to see some of the things that your mom has done with her business, because now you have something to compare it to. You can say, you know, I love how she do this, or I would do this a little differently. And some of the mistakes that she may have made, you say, okay, I know not to do this. I know what happened last time this happened. Even down to your contracts. Making sure you have someone to read over your contracts and really understand, especially if you get a big contract with the commercial cleaning that you want to do. You always want to make sure that you think about having a banker, having an accountant, having insurance, especially having liability insurance,
Yes.
and having a lawyer. Because those are 4 things that you're going to always need, and you may not need them today, but you want to be able to build those relationships so that you can afford to have those things. Because when you need them, when you need a banker, when you need a loan, when you're having a business problem with your finances, you want to be able to have a good banker that you can have a relationship with. So all of those areas are ones that you want to start out kind of seeking and seeing where can I have these things and who can help me with these things. Because when you need them right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You need them
something
right
I
away.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like having a lawyer, like that sounds
Yes.
very complicated to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And having a lawyer, no, it doesn't mean that you keep them on retainer, but knowing who a good lawyer would be, or having a consulting session with the lawyer. Because once you do your first contract and a lawyer has looked over it, understand all the fine print, and feel like everything is good, then you can be able to repeat that process and begin to know what it looks like. Yeah. So I'm suggesting that don't try to read that big contract and those fine print on your own. That's not your expertise. So always have someone in your corner that can be your banker, that you can have that relationship with, an accountant, making sure you have insurance, and having that lawyer. Those are 4 areas that I think are foundation for small businesses. And those are mistakes that I just don't want to see you make.
Yeah, I think that's definitely important, because if you're always putting effort into making sure your work looks 100% good, then you won't have time to making sure this is good. And as well as you said, reading the fine print, that is not my expertise, so I should have somebody that can help me out while I'm doing the good work.
Exactly. Because having those people around you in your circle that are expertise that can help you in the areas where you are lacking, there's nothing wrong with having weaknesses. You just need to have the right people around you that can help you to grow and perfect your weaknesses so that you can focus your time on playing to your strengths, which doing what you do best, which is the mass communications, the marketing, the things that you're going to school for, and having your business. So
yes, it's definitely a team effort.
Yes, it is a team effort. If someone wanted to get in touch with you to use your service in the Memphis or tri-state area, how could they reach you to support?
They can always message or call me at 901-502-4578, or look us up on Google at A-Team Cleaning LLC.com.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so
excited
much.
For you. I am on this journey with you. If you ever need anything at any time, please reach out to me. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that. I really want to support you. I know Christian Brothers is going to do a phenomenal job supporting you, and so is your family. So you have a really strong foundation, and I know you're going to do well.
Yes, I'm very grateful for you too, because you've been a guide for me through all of this. And I definitely will always need your support. Yes.
And I will always be here for you.
Thank you
so much for coming on the show.
No,
I hope some of our young entrepreneurs, or even those that think it's too hard to start a business, hope now you understand that it's not. It is something that you can do. You just get out there and just do it, and make sure that you have a support group, someone that you can call on or lean on to help you with your business. ACG Brand Management is here to support you. I hope you got some great nuggets on some of the things that you would need to start your business. And like Camila said, just do it, and do it consistently. Be patient, as you said. Take your time, and your business will grow and flourish. Thank you guys for sticking around and hanging out with us for another episode of Easy Talk, real talk for true entrepreneurs. We'll see you next time. This episode of Easy Talk is sponsored by Spotlight Productions. When it comes to quality, Spotlight Productions strives to deliver excellence.